My name is Dee Dee Raap, and I am so happy to have the chance to do this tonight. This is my very first Facebook Live presentation. Once I heard about Facebook Live, I wanted to try it to connect with people who maybe have read my books, Dear Mom and Find Your Pink Flamingos, or just to connect with people who have maybe lost their moms or even just need some mom connection time. So my goal tonight is to give you 5 ways to connect with, to remember and celebrate your mom this Mother's Day. Today is my mom's birthday. And so May 3rd is one of those really special days for me. And since I have never done this before, I decided to try it on my mom's birthday. That way, I thought, well, I might need some heavenly help today, so I can count on my mom who's up there and say, Mom, please, thank you. So I want you to know that I just really, really appreciate your time tonight. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate anybody who has shared this journey with me. If you have been on this journey, you know how hard it is. My mom died in 1990, a long time ago. And I still miss her. I still think about her on days like today. Mom's birthday is like a holiday for me. I don't expect too much of me on a day like this. But Mother's Day comes up every year, and every year when you don't have your mom, you face that day. You face Mother's Day, and you think, what do I do this year, and how do I do it? And so what I did to heal from losing Mom was I wrote her a series of letters. Didn't plan to do that, found myself doing that. It felt really good. I would talk to Mom about just like anything, like a snow day, a birthday party, just little things. And I found myself connecting with her that way. Through that process, I found myself finding the gifts of my mother's life, and that was phenomenal. So what I want to do tonight is help you to find in these 3 or 4 places, plus a couple more things I want to share with you, where you can find the gifts of your mother's life to celebrate Mother's Day and to remember all the gifts of her life. So the first place I want to start is one of my favorite topics in all the world, and that is food. Food. Do you have a favorite mom dish, something that your mom made that just makes your mouth water? A memory from maybe when you were kids through whenever you had her that you just loved. Maybe it was chocolate cake. Maybe it was apple pie. Maybe it was not a dessert, but today I am thinking desserts. And I've been thinking desserts for days because on the prairie here we have a springtime tradition called rhubarb torte. Rhubarb torte was my mom's springtime tradition because it comes up in the spring, and you just make the best desserts in the world with it. So I made one today to show you how good this looks. And so you can see my mom's rhubarb torte. It's a nice crust. There's a custard with the rhubarb in it and a meringue topping. And you can have this recipe if you want it. You can go to my website and sign up for my e-zine and get it that way. You can just connect with me on Facebook, however you want to. I put it out in my Dear Mom e-zine, and I had several people ask me for the recipe. It's a really good recipe, and the secret is to beat that meringue until it's really stiff. That's what my mom told me. But as good as this is, it's not really about the torte. It's about the fact that our moms and people like that who loved us so much did things with their hands for us. And one of the gifts of a mother's life is the values that she teaches with her hands. The gift of hard work for you, the gift of making desserts like that. And so today when I thought about this and I was outside, by the way, I went outside in my pajamas to pick the rhubarb. Now, that would embarrass my mom to tears. Normally we have a fence up so nobody would see me in my pajamas, but the fence is down being rebuilt. So today I'm out there in my pajamas, so that would really have embarrassed my mom. Sorry, Mom. I'm over that stuff. I'm too old to care anymore. But as I picked the rhubarb, I thought, how many times did my mom make this for us? How many times did she know that her family loved rhubarb torte and she worked hard? It's not the simplest dessert in the world, but it is one of the best. And so I think my mom's hands showed love and the value of hard work, and that's something that you can really remember and celebrate this Mother's Day. So think about your favorite dish. Maybe it's rice pudding, maybe it's a hot dish or a casserole or something totally different. But just let yourself remember that and celebrate by giving thanks for the amazing joy you find from that dish. The second area that I want to talk about for remembering and celebrating your mom is her words. The words of a mom, when we are kids, kind of sound a lot like nagging, don't they? I mean, you know how moms are. They talk and they tell us to do things and we go, I don't want to, I don't have to. Oh, yeah, you do. She's the mom. And so I think about the things that mom said when I was a kid that I did not appreciate. We don't. We just kind of take all this good stuff for granted when they're around, and it's after they're gone that we go, ooh, okay, guess what? I can hear that voice now. And in my mom, I can hear lots of things. And I've asked audiences over time what kinds of things they heard from their mom, and two that I remember today when I was thinking about this was, I had one woman say, my mom said, do it right the first time. Oh, that's a good thing to know, isn't it? I mean, it's way better to do something right the first time than to mess around and have to redo it. And so I think when her mom said that, she was trying to teach her the value of quality and just doing the best you can right away with something. I've had other people say things like their mom said, the early bird gets the worm. And as kids, you said, I didn't want the worm. And you didn't. So, you know, and my mom also said this one, and maybe you heard this too, when I was in school and bopping off with friends, my mom said, always wear clean underwear in case you get into a car accident. Really, Mom? I don't even know what value that was about. But so they said goofy things and serious things, but one that I wanted to share with you tonight was what I heard from my mom when I got off the school bus. Lived on a farm, so I took the big yellow bus home after school, and one day in 3rd or 4th grade, some big, huge problem in my life surfaced, and when I got home, I wanted to tell my mom, so I did. And she listened to me, and then she looked at me and she said, well, there's a silver lining in every cloud. Really, Mom? I didn't know we were talking about clouds. I thought we were talking about my problem. But no. So, you know, that's just how my mom was. And I thought, silver linings? Now I get it. When my mom said there's a silver lining in every cloud, she was saying also, it's your job to find it. That to me is the value of optimism, and that's a huge value in today's world. There's so much negativity out there right now that when you can just believe that there's a silver lining in everything, it shifts your life. That's one of the best gifts in the world from a mom. So remember and celebrate that one this year. I know everybody heard some form of that. Your mom wanted you to have faith and have hope and believe that things could happen. So I call it optimism. And it's really good for my soul. I hope it's good for your soul this Mother's Day. So remember and celebrate that. And then the third area that I want you to think about for remembering and celebrating is your mom's traditions. Oh my goodness. Moms are just filled with traditions, aren't they? I know I am. I have traditions that I love doing at Christmas time and for birthdays, and I'm sure your mom did too. I'm sure you did special things for Valentine's Day and 4th of July and other occasions. Well, for me, one of my mom's favorite traditions was her Sunday dinners. And maybe other times, but I remember Sunday dinners because that's when she would make the fried chicken that I really do love quite a bit. I know that's not really healthy for you either, and just like the dessert, you have to just like forget about the calories and forget about the sugar and say, I'm going to do this because it connects me to my mom today. But Mom would make a chicken dinner on a Sunday, and she would have a car full of relatives pull up, and by golly, that woman could serve chicken dinner to everybody. She was kind of like Jesus. She could multiply the food. At least that's how it seemed when I was a kid. Because everybody ate. She never turned anybody away. You didn't do that in those days. In that world, you didn't. You took care. You shared what you had with everybody. Well, for me, that value is about hospitality and always sharing what we've got. Because we're pretty blessed. We've got a lot. And when others need what we've got, then we share it. So I have a something to show you that symbolizes to me this value of hospitality. And I'm a big one in thinking that we need symbols of these gifts from our moms. So for me, it's this plate. And some of you have seen this before. If you've heard me talk about this before, you've seen a plate. But this is the golden wheat dish. My mom got these in boxes of dish soap. We could never afford to just go to town and buy dishes, so this is how we got them. And so she served food on these dishes. And I think, wow, they're beautiful. And when we lived in Wyoming and I began to collect these, I called them my South Dakota dishes because of the wheat. But they're really symbolizing to me that tradition from my mom that we always share what we've got. We always are there for others. It's what we do. There's so many traditions that our moms have that are worth remembering and celebrating this Mother's Day, or really any day, because they're just so special. So when you think about things that your mom did, like the desserts, and things that she said, like there's a silver lining in every cloud, or whatever else you heard your mother say, and you think about the traditions, you think about the values that you were taught in those things that she did, and the things that she said in traditions. Well, then there's two more things I want you to do to remember and celebrate. And this goes for whether you still have your mom or you've lost your mom. Let's take from the side first that you still have your mom. You are going to send your mother a Mother's Day card, right? You are going to do that. You are going to do that. But inside that card this year, send your mom a letter. This is an idea I got not from me. I got this from a reader of Dear Mom. A reader told me that when her mom, after reading Dear Mom, she got the idea that she could write her living mom these letters. So she did. She wrote her mom a series of letters. And like maybe 2 years later, her mom died. So she went to her mother's for the funeral and then to clean out her mother's house. And when she was cleaning out her mother's house, she was in the bedroom and cleaning out the nightstand. In the nightstand, next to the bed, she found that whole series of letters that she had written her mom. And you know how a letter looks when it's been written and then folded and opened and like reread and folded and then reopened? Those letters from her mom to her mom had that worn look that told her mother had read those letters a lot of times. That's the power of writing these letters. So what I would love for you to do is think about writing your mom a letter. If you need some help, go to my webpage, and there's a free sample of Dear Mom. I think it's like the first 20-some pages, and you'll see some letters there. Also go there and look at the free sample pages from my Dear Mom journal. And I show you there some prompts that you can use to write. You don't have to buy anything. You can just go there and read that stuff. And you can write your mom a letter, but it can be this simple. You can say, Dear Mom, the other day when I looked at the rhubarb plant, it made me think about you and how many times you made rhubarb torte for us when we were kids. Oh my gosh, Mom, my mouth waters when I think about that and how I took all that hard work for granted. I want you to know this Mother's Day that I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And thanks, Mom. I love you. Happy Mother's Day. Your mom will love getting that letter from you. I have kept the letters I've gotten from my daughter, and I love, 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 love those. If your mother has passed on, you can still do the same thing. You can write a letter. You will be capturing a memory that is good for your soul. I guarantee it. And then the last thing I want to leave you with tonight, because I promised 20 minutes, I'm already at 15, so I don't want to go too long here, but I'm a big believer in this one. If you've lost your mom especially, as you take this journey that I call Dear Mom, and you remember and you celebrate all the many little things your mom did, because it's not about the big things. maybe in your world it is. For me, it was the little things. The things I took for granted, the food, the clothing she sewed, all the little things I just took for granted. When you remember and celebrate those this year, then look up and say, thanks, Mom. I really appreciate it. It will be so good for your soul to say thanks. When we remember and celebrate, we shift into a place where the things we took for granted are now the things that we just cherish. And when you lose your mom, those little things become those really big things. So I hope you take that journey. I hope you write those letters. And if you enjoyed this, I would love to know, because I've got lots of topics I would love to cover in Facebook Live. These are not fancy sessions. They're like maybe 15, 16, 17 minutes long. But I've got lots of things that I would love to share with you if you're interested. So I would love to know that from you. And secondly, again, if you want the notifications, just either sign up for my e-zines, or just, I think if you follow me on Facebook, you'll get a notice. So this was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. And I just really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And happy Mother's Day to you. If this is your Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to you. If this is for your mom, happy Mother's Day to her. And if this is to a mom who's passed, I say happy Mother's Day to her. Happy Mother's Day.